5 seconds remaining. DC's turn to ban. Turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. DC's turn to ban. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Turn to pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to the International 2017. We're going to be taking a look at, I believe, our 4th series of the day, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be OG facing off against Digital Chaos here on Stream B. I'm Lyrical, joined as well by the man, the myth, the legend, the great Blitz Dota. How you doing?
I'm very good. It's going to be a really hyped game. One of the few games at the International that, at first glance, looks really one-sided. But I think will end up being close-ish.
I love that description. It's great. I kind of get what you're saying, though. Like, everybody looks into this OG almost guaranteed to get, like, top 4 or even higher, some people think. And on the other side, it's Digital Chaos, who have, I think, a lot of, like, local favorites, if you will, of this region. Talk to me about it. What is it that you see in DC that you're liking right now?
Do they? Do they have local favorites? Like,
I don't know. You like Boba, don't
They've got 2 Koreans. Abed, who not many people know a lot about because he doesn't stream or anything. And they have Mason, who has a tumultuous history with...
Why are you flaming DC
And then there's
right
Boba,
now?
who I think everyone in the community has ragged on at some point or another. And, like, openly laughs at.
Okay.
So they're kind of like the scrappy... They're like the Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks?
No, they're not... Because the Mighty Ducks become champions. They're like the...
Jesus.
They're like the Bad News Bears.
The Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we'll have to see. I'm down to quack through this game if they end up taking it. Granted, of course, OG also incredibly well-known team. You're saying that they're not favorites on DCs. I would certainly say that OGs have some fan favorites there. But this is something that we saw from DC in the first series that I watched and casted of theirs. Silencer Batrider is an opening. Obviously, tried and true combination for initiation, but they also were running a lot in Southeast Asia leading up to this. Do you think that that's something that's sort of still viable? Do you like that style of play?
I mean, I think Batrider right now is a really good hero. As a silencer, you can see that TNC really valued that hero. They played against EG earlier today, like you said. And I don't know. I feel like the thing about Batrider is, like, how many times has Ice Frog nerfed him in one way or another? It's been like 10 straight nerfs. But the thing that this hero provides is, no matter what, you should be able to win team fights with this hero. And with the combination of silencer, I mean, think about it. You blink in, you grip somebody, silencer pops his global. That should, in theory, be a teamfight won every single time. And Batrider is also one of those heroes that, even if it's 4v5, the high ground never feels great. Because there was a game we played at Galaxy Battles against Infamous, and they let the coaches stay in the room as long as you didn't say anything. Of course, there was a guy in there, like an admin, but I got to listen to the team comms, and there was one time where Rasmus was saying, like, don't go high ground. It's 4v5, but still don't go high ground. Like, we hit Aegis and everything, and we went high ground anyways. We got wiped. And he was talking about it. He's like, never go. You have to be so much more careful against Batrider. Because what ends up happening is you just get gripped to tier 4s. Even if you respawn with Aegis, you get stunned. You're stuck at a tier 4 tower. You've got 3 different towers and 4 heroes beating on you. It doesn't matter that you have the numerical advantage.
right? And it's something that feels so much more attractive now to go high ground because, you know, there's less shrines on the side lanes, and, you know, there's a second, on the second Roshan, there's cheese, but yeah, maybe a little bit more difficult to do that against him. We'll see if they double down upon that as well. In the last game, they ended up taking a lifestealer with it as well, if I'm not mistaken, DC, which was like just the uber initiation. Unfortunately, LGD proved to be too much for them. On the other side of the coin, though, it's going to be OG taking a Slardar and Coddle.
Was it LGD?
LGD versus DC.
I thought it was
no,
VP.
Switching that up. It was Fnatic versus LGD.
And
There's so
VP.
many games.
You're forgiven, Gabe.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, Slardar, Coddle. We saw Coddle, I think, in the last game that you casted as well as part of like a dual lane, just constantly spamming out the waves. Pretty good stuff.
I've been telling Cap that I think Slardar is a good hero right now. Like, I kind of felt it. And I told him, this is the one time that I'll ego check myself for you, Gabe. And when I say that, I'm saying that very sarcastically. I hope you know.
Oh, I know.
But I was like, there wasn't a lot of Slardar being played. I randomed him in a game. It was like 7.2k average game, and I felt I was the best hero in that game. Like, without a doubt. I was like, you can kill anybody. I mean, GH and Envy threw my game, but the hero itself felt very strong.
All right. I'm liking that. Is it just like his early movement and like the way that he's able to get in quick with sprint?
It's what Dota always comes back to is like it's like this really weird roundabout thing where people they over rely on team fight. Okay, and then what ends up happening is once you do that, you counter that by being greedier and greedier. So you pick heroes that are more centered towards splitting the map up, right? So if you have one side that only wants to team fight, then the polar opposite is going to be a team that never fights. So you have a team that just pushes around the map, shoves in waves. And then you go too hard to that side. So then you need to swing back to the other one where it's like, okay, we've gone too far in the direction where we have like no disables, no team fight, no ability to fight. But Slardar is kind of perfect at that because if you think about Slardar as a hero, this hero allows you to Roshan. It turns any of your heroes into physical damage dealers. Like, any hero is liable to just get blown up. You have an instant initiation stun. You have a bash that is useful late game. Sprint allows you to play very fast around the map. I guess the downside that we found at ESL Genting when we played him like against heroes like Sand King is sometimes it feels a little bit difficult to get your stun off.
Right.
And sometimes if that Blink Dagger gets delayed, that's when things get a little bit rough and it feels like you have sort of a useless hero. But I think in this kind of meta, when things are a little bit more slowed down, he feels very strong.
Wow. Well, and you know, it's kind of interesting that you talk about that because a hero that relies upon that Blink Dagger to make stuff happen and can sometimes struggle to get that. Then also an Invoker, maybe a hero that takes a little amount of time to come online. And now a CK as well, who granted does become this sort of indomitable force in the mid to late game once he starts to really get items up. And now you look at what DC is running, all these heroes feel like they come online fairly quickly. And even if Batrider struggles in the lane, he can retreat to the jungle. Is that something that you could see being a problem in this game where OG don't quite come online quickly enough?
I mean, I think right now it's just a game of counter picks. I know that's how DC like to draft in general. So you have the Sven to counter the Slardar amp, of course, and more importantly, he's very good against CK because you have the cleave, right?
Yeah.
It naturally makes sense. And you're going to build a BKB against these heroes. But the downside of the hero, of course, is it's very easy to get kited. The one thing I would say that Coddle, by the way, enables more than anything too that we should talk about really fast is this hero is one of the few supports that can so safely lane shove. Like, that's going to be a term that, until I die, that I'll reference until people get is you want to shove in lanes at all times. That's how you're able to make plays. If you can shove in the lanes, then people have to react to that lane shove because your tower's being hit. If you lose a fight, you immediately lose objectives. That's what lane shove does for you. Coddle's one of the few heroes that can just do it with no risk.
Right.
You push in a wave, you pop your ulti, you let your Illuminate go, your ghost form. It's like weird ghost man, like Casper just fires off lightning or some shit. And what do you do against that? You're not going to chase that around. You can't do anything against it. You can't really protect your wave against it.
And he's really quick too, so it's even harder to do it.
Yeah, you just get triangles. You're running around. And you're like, boom. You do it again, like twice in a row with Chakra. Cool.
Well, that's certainly one of the ways that will help enable them to, like you're saying, all the great things about lane push. And yeah, I'm kind of sort of curious because it was interesting the way that the draft progressed. OG took a really long time for that third pick. It felt like they were trying to wait on, what is it that we really want to take? Are you surprised at all seeing the mid taken this early in the draft in like the first pick of the second phase?
I think OG has to give up something.
Oh.
That's a good pick. They need a lane shove.
Yeah, talk about being able to shove lanes quickly. Just one burrow strike, 2 right clicks, and it's gone with Caustic.
Yeah. I think that's really good.
10 seconds remaining.
That was a pretty good hero to just like kind of pair everything together. But I'd say right now,
Remaining.
I think OG just felt like they felt comfortable showing the first 2. Because when you play against a Bat Rider, it's just obnoxious no matter what. It doesn't really matter what you have. Things don't really get easier. Like, you could say, okay, you get a Lincoln's carrier, but even then, Bat Rider will get 4 staff.
Right.
You have to show something, especially when you're second pick.
You may now select
Wow.
your heroes.
Coming down to the wire at the end of the day, it's going to be the Bristleback Taken. And it is going to be a off-lane Bristle. I'm assuming with Fly there in lane. This is like that classic combo. And I remember, I mean, for a while, you were also... wasn't this like the big thing in Southeast Asia when you guys were playing? Is that correct? Or was it...
It was
later
IO
than that?
Bristle
Okay.
when we were in there. You bring back dark memories.
I'm sorry, man. I apologize.
Who was the combination of people? It was March. It was March's Bristle.
Okay. You know, and I was doing some research about these teams back in that day. It was Jarek's playing on Hot 6, and I think that he was housemates with Forev at the time too. So
They all
long lost teammates.
they all lived in this like tiny apartment together.
Yeah.
Like all you have to do is play Dota.
That sounds like the dream. Well, from a tiny apartment now to a big old hotel in Seattle, it's time to see if they're going to be able to take game number 1, OG versus DC, 4th match here on the B stream. And do you have a draft that you're particularly favoring? You felt like you really liked that Sand King last pick. Is the Bristle the perfect answer for it, or how do you see this game playing out?
I will say. Okay, I want to hear your opinion first. Who do you
Okay.
think, just bare bones without any analysis, who do you say wins draft-wise?
I would say that DC wins draft-wise.
I think so too. Because
Okay.
I feel like the Silencer is one of the most annoying heroes that Bristle can play against. Like, if you're imagining Quill Spam, you just get cursed. People don't realize it, but Curse is... Oh, that spell's brutal. Actually, everyone realizes it now. Arcane Curse is insane. Like, that spell is by far one of the most annoying to play against. It just feels like it's on you forever. But at the same time, I think I do like DC's draft a lot. I feel like they have really comfortable ways to take team fights. They have good late game. They have ways to lane shove. Like, everything on paper looks good, but you always have to take into account that you think that OG might be a better team, right?
Mhm.
So maybe they can overcome these deficits in the draft.
I really like this too. This ward placed down, he was able to just get it in time, the Sand King, before the Bristleback walked up the hill. So he'll be able to have vision of the stacks. And they've committed both of their wards, actually, to making sure that they know what S4 is doing at all times.
Yeah.
Well,
30
That
seconds to
is a heavy commitment, though. I figured they would have placed down a ward mid, but I guess they feel comfortable that Jarex can't really mess with a Queen of Pain. Like, it's a Queen of Pain, right? Abed can always just blink away. There shouldn't be a way that he really dies to any sort of rotation. Because the only way that he dies is if CK makes the rotation over. Which, by the way, No Tail, out of all carries in Dota, is more than willing to do. Like, this guy will grab level 5, smoke up with the rest of his team, kill mid, take that tower.
a quick little bullion move here by Mason himself is going to force Ana back, and that will mean no bounty rune for him.
That's how you get 3.
Hey. Do it.
Dude, look at that DC immediate gold lead. They take a demanding lead, a commanding lead off the start.
I'd say insurmountable.
Yeah, 300 net worth at 20 seconds into the game. Just think about that. It's exponential.
Yeah, if you have exponential growth, it's going to be 30,000 by 10 minutes. It's over. Well,
What was the point?
I don't know. A couple little things here. The Invoker versus Queen of Pain matchup. I feel like we've seen it so many times throughout this patch and past ones as well. Anything really new evolve with this matchup here?
No, it's going to be really annoying for her Invoker in the beginning. Obviously, the later the game goes, Invoker is just one of those heroes that will shine. That's just the nature of the hero, but pre-Aghanims is going to be the time period where Queen of Pain is just going to fight lane-wise, one-on-one, straight up one-on-one. It should be very easy for Abed to bully this Invoker, which he's doing so far.
Well, bottom lane, actually, they've already found it. Bulba will save the day, though, as Jerax gets stunned by him and takes some tower shots on the way out. But that was setting up to be a really nice play. And, oh, Bulba, maybe getting a little bit too big for his britches now, is going to end up dropping. Well, unless he gets a triple burrow strike, can he actually make his way out of here, though? It seems like it could be quite tough. He will not have another one.
He's got boots. He's got boots.
Run away, little man. Run away, Sunstrike. Oh, no. First blood.
Bulba
picks it up.
Everything was going so well. If he doesn't make that play, I'm not even kidding. Like, they survive. Look at top. S4, he had to pop his salve. He was getting quite low up there, too. He doesn't like that lane. This bottom lane, Forever was getting the wave shoved into him. This Queen of Pain was doing so... I mean, in CS alone, it's 6-2 against 9-4. If Ana doesn't get that kill, Abed can snowball this lane. But that first blood, it's going to have repercussions.
Yeah, and we saw up there as well, Bristleback just getting level 2 as they decided to go on him, and that, I'm sure, kept him alive. Left only 100 HP after the fact, with his back turned the whole time.
But you're still a level 2 Bristle with no stacks.
Yeah.
Like this, ideally, let's not overthink this. This is still fine. Let's calm down.
Okay.
Everything is okay.
We're
DC
here.
is still in a perfectly fine position. Somehow, they've triple stacked. This is like a quad stack. If they clear this up, this is going to be really good for them, as Fly should be blasting this pretty soon, and you need to ideally do this with like 7, I think. Yeah. 7 or 8 when you start it. This is just going to leave a lot of creeps behind.
Really unlucky the double Centaur, too. They had those like 3 or 4 instances of Cloak Aura on him, just giving so much magic resistance to that Bat Rider, too.
Yeah. And they're going to shove the wave out, Fly, which is what he should do. He can even pull it to the side after, which is what I imagined was going to happen, but not actually going to do so quite yet. But you're going to get double range creep, and Forev's just going to get a lot of experience here. I feel like Fly, I thought he was going to shove, but they're going to stun, harass Forev out a little bit, and this next wave, he's going to pull it in. So, gets delayed by a little bit, doesn't really change too much though.
Well, meanwhile, mid, you know, Jarek sticking around as well. They're not going to be able to find a kill onto Forever, like you mentioned, so that left him free to force a blink out from Quap. Bet has to play a little bit safe for the moment. And of course, it's going to be Bulba still sticking around here. Has that level in Sandstorm, so no extra pressure with the Caustic, but I guess he's going to soak up some of this experience as well. They've been able to pull off one of those range creeps as we miss a kill up top. S4 goes down. Pick up by Mason.
Yeah. Very good kill by him. As, again, this is just going to be a really rough lane for this Bristleback. Like, this is not meant to be the easiest time. So, laning advantage so far, I would say it goes in favor of DC, just by like a slight margin. It could have been even better though. I'm not going to harp on it too much though. That first blood, things happen.
Right.
As Ana going to get right-clicked. This is a DD Queen of Pain. You want to be careful, but...
Gets her to blink away.
Yeah.
Alright, well, holding back for the moment. Looks like S4 is going to retreat to the jungle. Do you think this is something where it's worth sending a support over to soak experience since you have vision, or just keep the lane under control?
I think you just keep the lane under control for now. Okay. He's going to stack, Dubu's going to stack on like crazy. So just keep the lane where it is, let Dubu get some XP too. At some point what will happen is Dubu will we'll stack this probably one more time, and then when Mason gets his 6, they'll just swap out. Dubu will get the lane XP, and Mason will just farm the jungle camp, and that's how they snowball. That's exactly what they did in the NA quals, and I don't think things changed too hard. And that is exactly what he does. He stacks again, these creeps will die. Because if you just shove the wave in, S4 doesn't necessarily have to be there. You could always just send a support, right?
Yeah.
You could send Fly, he TPs in, just blast the wave back.
I really like this. I mean, you see the stack there going on. You're also seeing right now that Bulba with the Sandstorm has been able to take out a double stack on the hard camp. They're getting a lot out of the map right now, DC, and
they are.
It doesn't really feel like there's a great way for OG to do much to contest this.
Yeah, OG's not getting that much out of this lane right now. Like they, this bottom wave, they're splitting XP between 3 heroes. Doesn't feel that good. And meanwhile at mid, I mean after this first blood, it's had a fine game. Jerax has even sacrificed a little bit of his game by going there, if you noticed in the beginning. So this Queen of Pain getting bullied quite hard. What should be a winning matchup for one side, in fact is not. As Bulba gonna make the rotation around, he's level 3. He does have this level 2 stun, but I mean, you don't really dive a Raindrops, Wand, Invoker.
Yeah. And now it's just a regen up top too, so that'll allow them to, you know, continue to establish a bit more dominance in this lane, I'm sure, after spamming out the spells. Ferev, in the meantime, went over to contest the stack. Yet again, it looked like he was able to pick up a few of those big
Look at Mason.
Are they actually going to pull back in, though? They're thinking about diving here on the Bat Rider. A whole heck of a lot of damage. They stun him up as well. Sunstrike coming through. Ferev actually heads up towards the north, but still will end up dying. And yeah, as you mentioned, Mason doing the stack.
I mean, that's still a level 4 Bat Rider. He's fine. He forced 3 heroes there, and meanwhile, if you look at Bulba mid, they're going to make this rotation on Ana. Doesn't look like they're going to get the kill, as Dubu instead is going to go down, and we talked about No-Tail. If there's any carry that's going to rotate when he's level 5 out of a safe lane to make something happen.
Look at this guy. No-Tail's crazy. He's just like, hey, I'll come mid. Why not?
He's
We'll
like,
find a kill.
It's all good.
Now, Abed thinking about going in for that.
Queued that up, but you would die.
Yeah. Well, that's just going to be the Shrine used, getting a little bit of extra value out of that. Still a stun over here on Bristleback. The rotation in from Jarex probably keeps him off. I don't know if they could have killed the Bristle either, but maybe make his life a little bit more scary. But 7.5 minutes in, 3-1, with a little bit of a lead for DC. Do you think that they're liking where they're at in the game? Is there anything they need to be worried about?
No, I think they're very comfortable with this pace right now. Because you know that no matter how much farm Invoker gets, it's empty net worth. In the sense that this hero has always been farm. Like, when you think about the hero, the problem is you think about all the cool combinations he does. But if you think about it, he only does that once he has like 3 items, right? He has Midas, Boots of Travel, Aghanim Scepter.
Right.
But pre-Aghanim Scepter, this hero doesn't fight. You create space for him, and he just pushes the map in and farms. So for DC, as long as they're not losing anything horribly, they're not getting picked off, I think they're okay with the pace of the game. Because they can press it once this Bat Rider gets blinked really fast.
Yeah.
And OG, they're going to be in quite a pickle trying to fight that out, which is why I liked DC's lineup better.
Well, and we've just been seeing this massive acceleration of farm from Mason, who has 77 last hits at 8 minutes in, and it's not looking like he's going to stop anytime soon, just moving into the jungle. And like you said, giving Dubu over the lane, this is... I mean, like... Do you just keep on building up your advantage in farm? Do you think that it's worth it going for like a Blink Dagger afterwards for Mason after Mask of Madness?
Yeah, I think Blink's perfectly fine here. It's a very justifiable build because you want to push the pace. Right. As Dubu up at top, he's going to get dove. That's 5 stacks.
Oh, but he isn't going to be able to get it off that last time. Oh, the end of time, Dubu!
There's a Sunstrike.
Oh, be careful, buddy. He's going to TP back home. But...
And it's not going to shoot it out. Any Dubus in here? Just one. Oh, that scared me, Gabe. There's going to be a 3-man rotation up here as No-Tail going to lead the way. They've got Sunstrike too.
Oh my god, it's so much damage. Mason throws out the stun, needs to get out, but not going to happen. S4 able to take him down, and now highest net worth hero gets brought down. That's a big one.
Yeah, that is No-Tail in a nutshell. He TPs in mid to save his mid, then he goes and ganks, even though there's an empty lane at top. One of the most proactive carries that you're going to see by far. This guy creates so much space for his team.
I think, you know, I was remembering back to even when they were doing, you know, all the Radiance Illusion pushing heroes, and people would always say that they played it different than others because he would, like, you know, go into a fight with an Alk or a Naga to make sure that the team was able to buy space for the rest of them. And doing the same type of thing here, going for the treads early on, and now back for the armlet. No need for Midas.
Yeah. He's just like, I need a fight. Let me help my team. We're going to win lanes. There's no other way that you can reasonably bring down that hero anyways, as Bulba.
More help for Ana. Finds himself a Sunstrike. Jarex is feeling it. They're having a good old time. Oh, God. You gotta love the chat wheel. It's too good.
It's the best. I mean, they're probably... It's gotta be because it's Bulba that they got that excited. And the lead finally swings in favor of OG. I mean, it almost was going 1k in the favor of DC, which isn't insurmountable, but still. It's one of those things where, you know, you felt pretty comfortable. Now the CK is just becoming a terror. He's killing everyone on the map. No-Tail gets to do his No-Tail playstyle with this hero.
Yeah, I love the build too. The 4 points in Reality Rift, -7 armor, particularly against, I mean, Sven, who has the high armor, but just even for pickoffs, it just transforms all those other heroes into damage dealers. But Mid lane, Abed's come back in with Dubu. Looks like they want to put the kibosh on this. Jarex is still hanging out in the area. And it hasn't really been a whole lot of concerted efforts towards taking down objectives yet. Do you think that changes sometime soon?
No. I think both teams, honestly, especially DC, like they're not really going to go 5-man for tower or anything like that. They have very split heavy of a lineup. So there's no real concern for them because they're going to win, or they think anyways, that they're going to be able to win the team fights, right? And once you win the team fights, you can take those towers anyways. The tower that they have to protect is this mid one. If they protect this mid tower, then I just understood his name.
Mid one. Oh, Blitz. It's amazing. Uh-oh. Dubu. He's in the mid. He's going potentially down here. Not a whole hell of a lot that they can do to stop that.
We talked about it. This mid tower is the one that they have to protect. They're not going to be able to do it.
Well, Mason at least is hanging out here. Getting to the side, but feels like it's quite tough to actually get there in time. Sand King is rotating as well.
You see, this is the tower that they're like all out defending for.
Oh, good play. Reality Rifting to get away from Mason on the Sven. They drop the
There's
global
the
as well.
global.
Sonic Wave out, trying to find if they see if they can catch No Tail, and with the right clicks coming in, it should
yes,
be the
denied.
but denied coming from Ana. He might end up paying for that one as they do have dust on him. Burrow Strike is gonna come through. Bulba finds him, a pretty good Illuminate.
Oh,
And now
S4
S4
comes in
here as
too.
well. They're all running in, but are they just running to their death? S4 up on the high ground, trying to bring him
He's
low.
getting
In
low.
fact, it's going to happen. OG lose 3. And my God, that was a hell of a defense.
That Arcane Curse, and we talked about it. You can give up that top tower, Gabe. You can give up that bottom tower, but that mid tower, if there's anything you know about North American Dota, any good team, they're not going to give up that mid. Because if you give up that mid tower, it opens up the entirety of the map. You no longer have to play these really weird smokes. You can just go up through mid every single time. You can cut across. Your jungle no longer becomes safe because you lose access to that entire north-left side. So it's essentially conceding map control. You're saying to yourself, we'll play from this really horrible disadvantage for nearly no reason.
Oh, and certainly not wanting that to happen. Granted, the tower is now only at 63 HP.
They're thinking about it. They're like, do we deny this? Because again, it matters so much. It provides vision as well.
Yeah, and the nice part also about having these heroes is they can just run in here in a second, and it looks like Dubu is going to go for the deny.
He feels it now.
Be able to get it, and
Gets the blink out though.
nice play there by No Tail and Jarex. Tried to get the Reality Rift into stun, but didn't quite work.
Did I just say north left? Like, why didn't you correct me?
North left is a thing, sure. I'm not about calling you out.
Yeah, but why could I just say upper left?
Or northwest.
There was a lot of ways that could have gone better, game. 2 North American casters.
Yeah, and a geography.
Lol. NA with direction slash. It was both.
Uh-oh. Movement in right now, though. Bulba is not quite in position for the stun. The rest of them are a little bit farther behind, but they will find Ana. Burrow Strike.
Oh, they're gonna grab this Invoker.
Can they actually do it? Sonic Wave is a hell of a lot of damage, and Mason comes back in for the swipes.
Oh, they're just getting chunked in this fight.
Can they kill him off a second time now? S4 had the Aegis, but now going to already have it down. He's doing a hell of a lot of damage. Double kill for Mason. DC have been striking back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and it does not matter that you have this Aegis, especially if you're going to get wiped like that. This is what I was talking about. I felt like just the raw teamfight ability. This is what this Batrider plus Silencer gives you. Is even though he didn't get global off, this Batrider's grip, it's always going to win you teamfights. And the ability to kite with Arcane Curse and Sticky Napalm, it's fantastic. It's so hard for OG to take these engagements, and now OG, they're going to lose their mid tower themselves. So the tower advantage evens out, which should favor DC in this sense because they can shove in waves with their core heroes. Dubu going to make his way up at top, and even without that global, I mean, Mason, you called it, he goes for the blink first. He's got tons of utility. He's very strong right now, highest net worth in the game. This Invoker still can't fight.
Yeah. He is only 700 gold away from that Aghanim Scepter and picked up that health count. We'll see if it will save him. This little rotation as they have the dust, they have the jump, they have the Burrow Strike. Ana
this
in
is a huge
trouble.
kill.
And again, taken down. Right now, 2, 3, and 2. Dangerously close to a meme.
I mean, he was in really good position to get such a fast Aghanim Scepter Midas. He was going to get like a 14-minute Aghanim Scepter Midas, and kills like this, definitely going to slow things down. 800 gold away now. If he just shoves out that bottom lane, sure, but that was a very good aggressive move by DC. Is, you know, their lineup's still paying dividends, as now Forev is going to shove out this bottom lane, and they're still doing this all minus the Blink Dagger on the Bat Rider, mind you.
Yeah.
And the Bat Rider, or the Sand King Blink Dagger. Once you have those two, on top of the Sven jump, you're just going to have so much team fight.
It really feels like that's the glory of the Sand King pick.
Oh,
4 points in Burrow Strike is, yeah, they found Dubu. I mean, that's that one that'll happen. But you know, you have your Tranquil Boots moving at 405 movement speed, 4 points in Burrow Strike, long range initiation. You can just get so much done.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. They're just running around the map killing things, and so far it's been successful as Forev. He's waiting here again. They're very patient, but this time nobody from OG is going to fall for it, as they should just let the shove out naturally. They can send out Forged Spirits at bottom if they want, but they've got to be a little bit more careful and protect Ana. Like, you are not going to be able to just farm this Aghanim Scepter for free. People will punish you right now. So the best thing to do is kind of huddle around, which will slow down the rest of your team's farm, but at the same time, it is very key that you get Aghanim Scepter on this Invoker. Otherwise, he's a 3-spell Invoker.
Right. Well, and likewise now, if OG do start to play that more clustered together lineup where you don't let him go too far out and make sure that you protect him, what's the DC answer? Because it feels like they can't find those pickoffs as much.
Yeah, right now for DC, I'm not sure. DC, just wait for Blink Daggers.
Okay.
Like, everything is still fine. Your Blink Daggers are still coming online at a very reasonable time. There's nothing to really, there's nothing to rush in any case. Because as soon as this Bat Rider jumps in, he's going to be able to kill one core. Like, even if it's the Bristleback. Like, Sticky Napalm plus the Firefly, you just walk in front of him. It's incredibly annoying for Bristle to play against.
Okay. Well, I like that. Now they do have that Axe done. He had a dual Scepter queued up, but now it looks like it's going to be a Lincoln Sphere. Meanwhile, on the side of a bed, he ended up going back for the Veil. So, now that you have the Aghanims, does that feel like you're maybe in a little bit of a better position to take fights, or you still want to try and wait for those next couple items? Maybe a bit too scary?
You can set up for a little bit more, but you don't rush things.
Okay.
As up at top, Mason gonna get gone on. Gets jumped.
Wearing off a good bit of damage. Sunstrike coming through as well. Gonna connect onto him, and with the Illuminate, all the damage in the world, they take down Big Bad Sven. Dubu, he gets out.
That was pretty close. He almost cleaved his way to killing Fly as well. That's gonna be a massive death. That was a Sven that was well on his way to such a ridiculous game, but now things get slowed down, and DC... They're playing... That was a little bit too greedy, because you've got 3 cores farming in different areas of the map. They're all showing. OG, of course, is going to make some kind of move. They have to. Otherwise, you're just watching 3 cores farm independently. They thought that the Sven global would be enough. You know, you just TP out, but OG... I think he still should have gone for that, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to consider why he was worried about that.
Well, bottom lane, I'll let you pontificate a little bit further. It's a quick kill on S4 yet again. By the way, simultaneous Blink Daggers picked up right there for both the Slardar and the Bat Rider.
Yeah.
And now because of that, OG want to try and take this fight without their Bristleback. But DC already away.
Yeah, they're going to get out of this just fine. Nobody greedy. That's such a disciplined play, by the way. Do you notice they leave 1 creep behind? Oftentimes, like, people stay behind and they'll farm that, but just because you're greedy, that's just human nature. You see that creep, you're going to want to farm it. At the same time, DC, a little bit more disciplined. They're thinking to themselves, guys, something's really off. Nobody showing on the map. This mid wave is kind of shoving in this top wave. Nothing's really happening. Like, why is nobody showing on the map right now? What I would like to see DC do anyways is they're going to have this Bat Rider ulti up again pretty soon. I'd like to see them make a play with smoke. They've got a Blink Dagger up on their Sand King as well. They've got Global Silence coming up in 20 seconds. Like, all their cooldowns are going to line up really nicely. And so this is exactly when you want to smoke, right before they're about to be up.
Oh my god, you're calling it.
So you make a rotation probably into their jungle, and you just scout upwards through that ancient area.
It's like that is indeed like call. You're an oracle here. What are you doing? It's almost like you're, you know, a coach at some point or something. My god.
But they're kind of hemming and hawing right now. I still feel like this is the play for them to make. Shove in this mid wave. It's your best chance, but instead they're going to make the call and say top wave is shoving in a little bit too hard. And Dubu's going to say they're probably in our top area, but at the same time, like, I feel like there was like a really small window for some kind of play to be made right there, and they didn't really go for it. You notice they sort of sent half the people mid, half the people are going top, because Dubu's saying to himself, like, guys, we have to shove this wave back.
Right.
So, but right now, I think you should still go for the smoke. After you clear this out, just smoke to Dubu or something. Like, there's still a play to be made here.
Yeah, and it's that window doesn't really like close at any point until it just becomes like less of a strong hit of that timing, I guess.
Yeah. I still think. I mean, you shove this wave one more time. Go. You really want to use these cooldowns.
You're getting antsy for them. You're all about this. I love it. I think that that's the perfect move, and now it's heading out. Of course, Global, like you were talking about. Who is it that they're going to run into, though? Because Fly is the only one that's actually going to be even close to showing on the map right now. The rest of OG are all back behind by their Tier 2 tower mid.
This is such a cool move by OG, by the way. You notice, like, because most teams would sit behind somebody at top, right? That's why you smoke to your silencer. But, oh, Fly.
Nicely done. Yule Scepter pickup, and Fly going to be punished for this one. It'll take a little while before he ends up going down, and he'll cause some trouble.
Yeah. The problem with that play, Gabe, or the reason why they only got that Keeper of the Light, was because they were just a little bit too slow.
Okay.
Because once that Queen of Pain shoves in that one more wave mid, it becomes a little obvious.
All right.
The bottom wave's been shoved in. This Queen of Pain blinks in aggressively to clear out that mid wave. Like, what could they possibly be doing? That's, you know, it's a little bit. But if they're a little bit faster, if they immediately smoke, they make that move up to Dupu at top, then they can connect and maybe they get a core out of that.
Well, and now that we've had that pickoff happen, it does mean that there's at least an opportunity here to pressure for a Tier 2 tower. Bottom lane is being shoved in by Illusions, and they, in fact, might be able to take the Tier 1 tower bottom of the Dire. With solo S4 there, they're going to pull him back in. A couple quick hits, but the counterplay coming in. Maybe should have popped that global second earlier, but it doesn't end up mattering. They're still going to take down S4, and DC getting set up to do some more damage.
Yeah. That was a BKB popped as well as the global, though. This is probably where DC disengages because they don't have the best vision, but...
everybody bouncing around. It ends up turning into a three-person burrow strike. The pushback is nice from the Coddle, and now No-Tail trying to see if he can do a little bit more work onto Abed. He lost all of his mana with that, but he still will be able to get that kill and get out.
Yeah, a little bit dicey because DC, you know, they don't have the best vision there, and OG still can't capitalize on that as the rough part. Because normally when a situation like that happens, it's the best time for the defending team to capitalize, right? You see all 5 heroes, you know none of their spells are up, but DC's just a little bit too more farmed. They're gonna 5-man Shrine. When's the next? They have another smoke. They could just go for it again. This Bat Rider's gonna have his lasso up in 20 short seconds. Like you could. This top wave is shoved in. Abed blinks forward aggressively. At bottom shoves that wave in, and the other 4 smoke and connect to him. That's your play.
All right. Even without global down, you think that they're so much stronger that it wouldn't end up really mattering that much?
Because you're not anticipating for them to get into a 5-man. You're hoping you just find 1 or 2 heroes. And that way you're grouped up as well, and nobody gets picked off.
Scary stuff happening now, though, as Roshan is trying to be snuck by OG. Do DC have an inkling that this has happened? They don't have those normal vision-oriented heroes that
they would. This is going to be way too fast.
In the clockwork or what have you, but
Fly would be a No-Tail up at top.
Trying to go
this would
on
be a
him.
good trade.
If they can kill him off, Dubu is there as well, but where's the follow-up damage? They don't really have it. Bulba is trying to come in right now, but Jerix is also going to scout him out. Can he actually find it? Epicenter coming in now, looking for Jerix. Isn't quite on the mark, but they still might be able to make something of this as they've been able to take down that Slardar as well.
Oh, Fly goes down in the background too. Only Ana and S4 are left for this. They might just get kited for this. He gets dusted.
Oh, nice jump forward by Abed. He's able to find him. Now the blink forward and the stun, but Mason stuck in the trees for a moment. Isn't going to matter. They still take down that Aegis, and Bulba able to dodge away from the EMP. Second time around, should not be that big of an issue. Deafening blast to no avail as Ana will die yet again. 4 down, 16-9. DC looking strong.
Yeah, and they're playing really decisively. A lot of teams, they would think, oh, that CK might be a bait or something like that, but they understand it's not. The Roshan falls, they immediately jump on that opportunity. Mason comes in with the backlines as well. DC, just all over the map right now, playing a little bit too fast for OG. Not enough team fight on their side, because this Invoker, he still doesn't feel that comfortable fighting. And right now, your CK isn't farmed enough that you can frontline with him, and this S4 Bristleback just isn't that scary.
I guess it's just, you know, again, the sort of the speed of the heroes and the way that they came online, causing a lot of issues.
This Bat Rider, man.
Yeah.
It always comes back. Like, around the time TI rolls around, You're just like, you forget about him. It's kind of a mediocre hero. Bam, Bat Rider.
Right.
Because there's no this initiation is insane. You Bat Rider global team fight is so chaotic for the enemy team. What does OG do? They kind of just have to wait for that 4 seconds. And at bottom, again, they don't even have to commit the lasso this time.
Oh, quick little pick off again as Slardar gets taken down. I was looking up there at the top also, Dubu just sort of like annoyingly throwing an arcane curse and a last word onto the bristleback and then TPing away.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, contribution.
I mean, it's just sort of like the petty little annoying things, the mental warfare of a Dota 2 game.
Yeah, he's got installed. That's worth gold.
Totally.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right. So Abed down bottom takes the tower, and now the rotation up towards the top. No Tail is here. Does have that cooldown reduction, depending upon what skill he wants to use. Maybe a double reality rift for funsies. But it looks like OG just going to back out now, not wanting to take the fight yet.
But man, DC, 3K lead. It's slowly growing. They're showing that the VP series, no problems at all. As mid, they pop the global to save him. That play doesn't even work in favor. This is a very farm Queen of Pain. She's going to have a plate mill. Going to be nigh and killable pretty soon.
Yeah, with the Lincoln Sphere as well. Man, so for OG at this point, the plan doesn't really change that much, does it? You've got Coddle for high ground defense along with like a Invoker, but I guess there's still the issue of a Bat Rider being able to siege high ground as well.
Yeah, because he can just grab somebody. If he grabs Fly, for example, at bottom, which is exactly what he's going to do.
What do you do now?
Goodbye, sweet summer child.
Golba is going to be able to find that kill. No Tail shows up, though, looking like he wants to battle for Rev. It's a little juke away through the trees. The tornado
you don't want to overextend for this.
Him. Are they going to be running into trouble? Sven is coming in from the back. On the other side, it's going to be Slardar already in a little bit of trouble. They get the Heal Scepter, lift up in the tornado. It's not all going to be able to do it. He's going forward for more. Sonic Wave comes down onto 3. Mason shows up. Big bad man, indeed, with a big old stick. Hitting S4 in the back. Able to take him down. Well, actually, he's going to be able to walk out for the moment. The cheese keeping him alive, but Ana already had to TP home. All 5 of DC are on top of S4, and there are Lotus Orbs and Echo Shells bouncing all over the place. They all die in the end.
10K himself. Coming in clutch for his team. Oh, that was sick spell casting by DC. Dodges that stun. Chases through. Gets the kill on Jerax. Manages to get his ulti off. Sets the team fight for his team. And the thing is, even though his team wasn't all there right at that moment, they got there in time.
Right.
You're in such a good position there. You killed Fly. You have this Bat Rider being chased. OG can't really commit to anything. They used their stun and their tornado. He didn't go down. Now you're in a position where you're fighting 3v5. What do you really do? That's perfect fight territory for DC.
And again, like you said, it may be baiting out a little bit of too enthusiastic of a response from OG. DC
they just want to get something, man.
Yeah.
That's just frustration. They're like, we need to do something. We just let our guy get kidnapped.
Oh, no.
That's like Taken if Liam Neeson didn't exist.
So who's Liam Neeson then in this analogy?
Liam Neeson? I mean, it's gonna have to be
Mad?
Anna.
Is it Mad?
It's gotta have to be Anna, dude.
Okay, it's Anna.
Anna's their Liam Neeson in this.
All right, let's see it, Liam Neeson. I believe in you. Bat Rider, though, looking forward. They're capturing the daughter yet again. Coddle in trouble.
The sequel
going down. It's got the same ending. Abed finds the kill. Unstoppable streak at this point for him. And now, can they find any more? They have vision over this. No Tail spotted him. There's the blink back. Now maybe in a little bit more trouble. Pops the BKB, turns to run away. Another jump forward. Abed wanting to get further aggressive here. Now Mason shows up, but a good stun, keeping him back for the moment. Can they kill off Ana? Liam Neeson is down. S4 also in trouble. DC dive in the base, dive in every damn thing, and they're not quite able to get that reality rift pull back. Instead, it's going to be No Tail falling as well. Jerax retreats to the well.
There's no objective for them to take. This is how you know a team's ahead. Like, I was looking at the map, I was like, and they're going to transition into a push. No, they're not. There's still tier 2 towers everywhere.
Yeah.
As far as the eye can see.
Wow. Well, what was, you know, I was looking at it earlier as relatively even in gold, but the big telling tale was that it was 10,000 experience. Now 30,000 experience lead and right around 9,000 gold.
To be fair though, that gold is a bit skewed because of how far behind the silencer is.
Right.
He's got 3,000 net worth compared to what everyone else on OG has, minimum 6k almost. So he's kind of dragging like 3k behind that. So it was almost closer to like a 10k overall on the course, like the heroes that mattered during that time. Is Forev once again, he's on the prowl, he's got the ult up, he's done it all game.
He shows a little bit of restraint there.
That one's a little bold.
Yeah.
You've got a gem, you can just get map control now.
Well, Roshan may respawn in another minute. We'll have to wait for the actual timing on that one. But is there anything that OG can really do to come and contest this next Roshan? How scary is that for their lineup right now?
The Batrider does two things really well. One, high ground, both offensive and defense, and Roshan fights. Because if you think about Roshan, is like there's no high ground area, so Batrider just rules supreme, right? Because you can just sticky inside the Roshan pit, you can throw out spells, you can try to stun somebody out of it. Firefly is one of the best vision spells in the game against Roshan. Like that's why every single fight they take around that area, even with the Aegis immediately thereafter, they get pummeled. But this time, they're gonna sit on top of this high ground. They're gonna be smart about this. Abed should scream in this mid wave. Yeah, you scream at least once because you want to shove in waves.
Yeah,
that might have given it away, but you gotta do it. I would have done it.
There you go. No Tail picked up an arcane rune also.
Oh, they're gonna ping. They notice something up.
They're
going the long way. They don't want to get high grounded. Oh, this is so cool.
Are they actually? I mean, because they have a creep wave here too, and no tier 2 tower.
No, they should take this fight. They're just going the long way around as Mason jumps in. The global's committed.
They're trying to take this fight. He does pull back in. No Tail though. Chaos Knight separated from the team, and S4 is down as well. And now OG nowhere left to go. They break the Lincolns. Ana trying to TP away, but they get the lift off. The gem gave the vision, and now with Invoker, he has to fight his way out of here. But there is just no way that's going to happen. All 5 of DC on top of him. My God.
Yeah, and you saw what OG was trying to do. They were assuming that DC would make the play, which they did, but they thought that they would come from the north, but they didn't. They went all the way around so that it was flat ground no matter what. That is so patient by them.
Certainly feeling the hype right now. DC making the plays they need. Mason wanting to get aggressive there, got force staffed forward by his own team, and now a tier 3 tower going to be taken. Do they continue to remain patient and go back for shrines afterwards, or do you stick for barracks?
I think you get the racks. No, you take this tower and you reset. Because you're fine. You don't want to lose your gems. You picked up gems. You're fine. Get out. OG's desperate at this point. Any one more push or one more team fight will just be that last little tip, and you're good. Roshan's gonna spawn too. You know that OG, every single time they've gone there, disaster. You're about to hit 25 on Abed. Why risk anything? So Roshan is gonna be up. Maybe OG goes for some desperate fight there. They realize things are getting real dire.
Well, and I'm sort of also, it felt like they just, you know, DC put their foot on the pedal and never looked back. This play of sneaking Roshan, do not believe it's going to work. Abed jumps back.
Stun. Here comes again.
Forev's caught him. The Lotus Orb out a little bit too late. That is going to be a kill. No Tail going down. Tornado's going to connect onto several, but can they actually find their way out of this? This is so spooky right now. The
he
is already down a pit, jumps back in. Ana's going to drop the triple kill from Mason.
Boba catches him with the stun in the back too.
Stunning himself as well. S4 is going to fall. Ultra kill from Mason. 35 minutes in, 9-33.
Don't even bother with the Roshan. March down.
Oh my God. DC looking really good. I think a lot of people, I mean, you know, we're saying as if the game's over. It's not quite. There's always high ground defense, but people would not have expected this level of play against a team like OG that's just been so dominant this year.
Yeah, but I think it was the draft, which is why I asked you in the beginning. I said, independent of what two teams that you see, what do you think the better draft is? But at the same time, like, better draft or not, some of the moves that DC made this game were just insane. Like, the decision to go all the way around with that smoke.
Yeah.
The way that they played this Batrider, I mean, Forev. Ooh. 6-1-25. He's been in 31 out of their 33 kills. And on top of that, he's only died once as Bad Rat. And that was that very beginning of the game. Remember when he got dove at bottom? And he almost lived through that too. Might be the last fight of the game.
Pop God strength. Mason turns to fight. The jump forward. No tail. His illusions cleared in just one quick cleave. Mason doing the damage. 40 seconds without these heroes here. A big tornado and the EMP comes out, but it's all for naught as they're going to get a triple kill. And I believe they're going to do what you finally have been telling them. Run down mid. DC looking to clean up game number 1 in very fashionable style.
Yeah. They're going to pick up a win. Probably huge relief, especially with the kind of competition that they were able to play against. I mean, this is what happens. Sometimes your draft is a little bit shaky. A team like DC is not bad at all. This is TI. All the teams are very good here.
Well, a big win for DC. OG certainly